Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. It's probably not a good day at WotC. Yesterday evening, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, the Washington Post picked up on the D&D open game license controversy, and they actually do a pretty good analysis of it. Reads pretty well. I will include a link of this in the show notes, but I am going to pick out a few highlights because it is well done. The tabletop gaming industry has fallen into crisis. As is often the case in fantasy stories, that crisis involves a king and a magic artifact. The king is Wizards of the Coast, the Hasbro owned billion-dollar publisher of Dungeons and Dragons, the nearly 50-year-old game that has become synonymous with pen and paper role playing. The magic artifact is the company's open game license, or OGL, written long, long ago in 2000, which permits players to craft and monetize their own tabletop experiences using D&D rules and mechanics as long as they avoid reproducing official characters, settings, stories, and art. And most tabletop designers portray the OGL as a kind of book of creation, the basis for a vast and noisy empire of artworks and experiences, full-blown tabletop competitors with their own fantasy settings to what's known as actual play projects at Critical Role, in which professional voice actors broadcast their own D&D campaigns. So, the once benevolent king appeared to have succumbed to avarice and began meddling with the Book of Creation. In a leaked draft of OGL 1.1 dated mid-December, and that leaked draft should also be in parentheses, in my humble opinion, and obtained by the pop culture news outlet IO9 and numerous others, Wizards of the Coast proposed some drastic changes. A 25% royalty on revenue from any OGL creator earning above $750,000 per year in sales. The right for Wizards of the Coast to use any content created under the license for any purpose. An apparent ban on the virtual tabletop simulators that helped kindle a tabletop gaming boom during the pandemic lockdowns, and the deauthorization of anything made according to the previous OGL. Okay, it's been an interesting 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks after the initial leak, Wizards of the Coast have executed a dramatic pivot. We're giving the core D&D mechanics to the community through a Creative Commons license, which means they are fully in your hands. I have spoken to two legal minds on this, and they're pretty much both on the page that, well, this part of the SRD would probably fall under what? Copyright. And give you something that you already had the rights to, and you didn't need a special license for. Now, since 2000, a number of D&D-based projects have turned into highly profitable enterprises. The 2021 leak of data from the live streaming site Twitch listed Critical Role as the single highest paid channel on the platform, earning $9.6 million since 2019. That is why they wanted special contracts with all those creators. Okay? I don't think they're happy they're leaving money behind. The money grab was part of it. But in the honestly, the morality clause, if it's well defined and rigid and applied equally and only applies to a product, not persons, I think it's barely palatable, but workable. But once you include persons, that means your freelancers, your artists, your writers, your executives. you, you say something wrong, somebody goes back 20 years in your Twitter account. Twitter was around back then. All right, they go back, 20 years, and they go back to your MySpace account. You said something pretty awkward. Are you going to now be losing your license? That's a bit too step too far, and for most of the companies I've spoken with over the last couple of days. So, rival publishers like Pathfinder have announced plans for an irrevocable open table systems and licenses, seeking to fill the breach. And yes, they're going to explain that the original 1.0 OGL is what saw the huge growth of D&D. But they're looking to consolidate. The league changes into the OGL, Jarvis and other critics argue, seem designed simply to monetize and extend control over the sprawling network of creators the OGL once empowered. Part of a consolidation of the D&D brand under the One D&D label, a project which is the coast calling the future of D&D, which includes an updated movement, D&D Beyond subscription service, and forthcoming official virtual tabletop app. So, faced with such comprehensive blowback, Wizards of the Coast eventually gave way. On January 13th, they announced plans to discard the royalty scheme and would give exclusive ownership to creators for their work. All right, fair enough. But they still defended the OGL 1.1 as a means of shutting down hateful and discriminatory products. I have not seen such, but I don't, maybe they're out there, maybe there is a following for such material. I don't know. And quashing third-party NFTs. I haven't seen a big thing of NFTs either. The post, which was not attributed to any specific individual at Wizards of the Coast, ended by hailing the situation as a victory for both sides and insisting that the company had always intended to solicit the community's input. You're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans, and those people are only half right. They won, and so did we. No, you didn't. No, you did. No, you did. Now, then they mentioned there was a further backpedal on Wednesday with more. Now this includes a mea culpa. We're sorry we got it wrong. Our language requirements in the draft OGL were disruptive to creators and not in support of our core goal of protecting and cultivating an inclusive play environment and limiting the OGL to tabletop RPGs. Then we compounded things by being silent for too long. We hurt fans and creators when more frequent and clear communications could have prevented so much of this. A new draft of the OGL was shared Thursday. It will be available for 2 weeks. Again, that Creative Commons thing, in my opinion, you might not agree with me, but my opinion, that Creative Commons aspect is stuff you likely already had rights to under the copyright. So, now let's see if my keyboard and mouse will cooperate, and apparently not. So that whole thing was a waste because I got to reboot the computer. Oh, no, it wasn't a waste. Oh, just in time. Folks, there you go. A little drama at the end of this. I will include a link in the show notes for this. Don't know why my mouse suddenly tried to disconnect. Telling me I'm doing too many videos. Tonight, 8 p.m., myself and Glenn Hallstrom. Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse. No idea what we'll be talking about, but it's a live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern on this very channel. So, as always, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Tonight, 8 p.m. Oh, and tomorrow night, 8 p.m. myself, my wife Rach, doing Gamers Health. All right, folks. I'll catch you later. Bye now.